the exact same thing as our website, which is www.cfcpage.com. So just go to YouTube at CFC Page, and we are live right now. Excited to see it. And we're going to be talking today basically about the election. We're going to be going through what's going on with the election. Webster, I don't know if you could hear me. You could at least talk. You'll be able to see, you'll be able to get live and see your video, but can you at least speak at least? Okay, we're trying to get Webster. So while we're doing that, I just want to just share with you something exciting on my end of the spectrum, so to speak. And that we, Dr. Sergio Connor and I have just launched a new office. We have just opened our office at 433 Ridgedale Avenue, Daytona, Florida. It's the Dr. Connor's Returning Youth Initiative at returningyouth.com. Here's a picture of our office, and here's a picture of myself at the office outside. Take a look here. There you go. And so it's 435. It's a professional building. We're in Suite 102, Dr. Connor's Returning Youth Initiative, Suite 104. We're very excited that we're going to be helping post-incarcerated youth there, basically in two ways. We're going to help people that are coming out of incarceration, getting them jobs, getting them everything they need, or we're going to be finding people that are at risk. So here's the Returning Youth Initiative information you see here. Dr. Connor just wrote a book here. And what we do is just, our specialty is we really have 4 programs. A safe haven, which this is a safe haven. The building I showed you is a safe haven. We're going to create a community center exclusively for young adults, regardless of their status. Okay, whether they're incarcerated, coming out, or before incarcerated, before or after. And our job is to do a couple of different things, is to help them get employed, get a job, get a career, get perhaps the ownership of companies. We're going to be getting homes of hope, which is basically similar to a halfway house. We're not there yet. We're going to get there eventually. But we are working very hard in career and entrepreneurship development, getting young people. You'll be surprised, people come out of incarceration, they want their own business. So instead of working for quote unquote the man, so this is what they want to do. So it's career development. And we're doing a franchise model, or we'll get you hired at a company, whatever it is, barbershops, vision centers, cleaning services. We're actually trying to start an employment service nationwide. We're working on that. We're going to be starting in Florida. And finally, a bridge to faith. We want to connect with churches and other houses of faith to be able to work with us to get people that are be interested in getting employment and not being in the revolving door of recidivism, in and out, in and out. So that's what the Returning Youth is going to do. We're still waiting for Mr. Barnaby to join us. Dr. Connor is now joining us. Mr. Barnaby, anytime you can join. You can join audio, by the way, Webster, or you can join with video, either way. But we are live at YouTube at CFC Page, at CFT Page on YouTube. So Dr. Connor is joining us. Dr. Connor, I'll give you a review of him when he gets on the phone on a video. So anyway, we're up to 10 million homes. The election was yesterday. It was a very interesting night. It didn't go the way a lot of people thought it would go. It didn't go the way the experts thought it would go. And it's still going on. There are still a number of seats that haven't been decided. They may be leaning in a certain way, but they haven't been decided at. So Dr. Connor, if you can start your video, that would be great before we start talking about that. So generically, it's we have an election that was very contested. Here we go. There's Dr. Connor joining us. Webster is having some technical difficulties, Dr. Connor. He is he's a representative for the Florida House District 29. So he's a representative there. He won his election last night. I've already given a review of the returning youth. I've showed the pictures of the office. I've showed the pictures of the office and the pictures of myself. I'll show you again. And it's the office that we've just purchased, Suite 104. We're excited about that. We're going to be starting the initiative there and getting. It's a safe haven, so kids are going to be coming there. We've cleared that with the owner. We're allowed to have children there, children 18 to 30. That's our goal. Okay, not children, so young adults. One of the benefits is, number one, we're on the first floor, and number two, we have free use of the conference room, which can seat about 10 people. So we're excited about this particular office. Here is me outside of the office, and as you can see, Dr. Connor's Returning Youth Initiative, Suite 104, with me as the state manager. So Dr. Connor, we're still waiting for Mr. Webster to join us. Anyway, I know you have a number of different titles. Let me go through them and you correct me if I'm wrong. So you are the founder of the Returning Youth Initiative at returningyouth.com. You are also the head of the Juvenile Justice Reformation Act. Is that correct? And what else, Dr. Connor?
I'm a lawyer.
I know you're a lawyer. Yes, you're a law firm. I know that. Let's talk about the initiative while we're waiting for Webster to join us. And if he can't join us within 5 minutes, we're just going to go through the election, you and I. So, Dr. Connor, where are you located in the country, the Returning Youth Initiative, helping young adults when they come out of incarceration or if they're at risk before incarceration? What states are you in?
Both. Actually, we are covering both the things which you just said, high risk and or at risk, and also the young adults coming out of the prison. Currently, our flagship is in Montana, and then, as you said, we are starting in Florida. We exist in Gary, Indiana. I'm sure people know where Gary, Indiana is. And then we are also in Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and also we have recently started in Hawaii, in the main island. So
right.
We are kind of structuring that there, and then we are also.
Have you been talking to my friend there at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
You'll be included in that, but
I'm just trying to convince you that when you go visit, you got to take me along, okay?
And also we have representatives in a lot of other states. We don't have an office in each states, but we have multiple locations, like in Arizona, we have in California, we have in New York, we have in New Jersey, we have Connecticut, and many Texas, Nevada, Idaho. So with different places where we have our representatives there, state representatives. So, and we have some success stories. We have been, as you know, recently, Gary, you hosted and administered. You also administered the press conference we had for.
Oh, that was great.
That was a great success. And
we had a press. I'll just give a quick review. We had a press conference in the new building. They let us use the conference room, which is really exciting. And we had a lawyer who was in the building and let us use his office, use the conference room, and we had We had people from the executive branch of the US government on. I don't know if we can mention their names, Dr. Connor. We had people from the Supreme Court attend the call also. So it was extremely well attended. The press release, which you actually released had over 100 million views. I don't know if you ever got I forgot to ask you, have you ever got the final count of how many views there was? I know we had over 100 million initially, but I never got.
It was close to 100 points some, I forgot the name. And then also we got a lot of views on the what do you call the YouTube?
Oh yes, yeah, YouTube.
And,
Yeah, we were live on
it
YouTube.
was thrilled because we got out of 360 million population, we have more than 100 million views for the press release. That was very impressive. And based on that press release and based on the press conference, we officially launched our young women empowerment.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Talk about that.
Yes, in Montana, and we have enrolled 3 women candidates. We already enrolled 3 women candidates, and their pathway is getting ready right now as we speak. And then my goal is that when I come to Florida, we might want to start, recruiting some women candidates. So yeah, it's the things like you said. We want to make sure that we are not discriminating any women, men, but we want all young adults, even at risk. We kind of opened up the at-risk candidates between the age of 17, 18 with parental consent. They can, those who are in senior or junior in high school, they can join our program. And if they want to, participate, we are going to enroll them. We have a couple of them in Montana already. So I think, this initiative, I want people to, go to our website, returningyouth.com, and, you can get all the information. And if you're in the Florida area, please reach out to Gary. If you're in New York area, you can reach out to me. We have our headquarters in Brooklyn. And if anybody are in Montana area, you can reach out to Kerry Anderson. And if anybody is in Gary, Indiana area, you can reach out to Hugh Chuck. So yeah, our website has all the information, but I'm glad that you are inviting me today to talk about
I want to talk about the
movement, but I think we can wait for Webster. Webster is coming in.
Well, he's there. He's having technical difficulties with the video. I asked him he can join just audio, but I haven't heard from him. As soon as we heard from him, we'll switch. But Doctor, I want to talk briefly about the women's initiative you have. People don't realize recently that the increase in female incarceration has been 435%. 435% increase in just over a few years. It's created problems that don't exist with the male population. It has to do with people are pregnant, they're single mothers, they have children on the outside, they have family. So there are other issues associated with women that are being incarcerated that are not being addressed. And that's what we're trying to do by getting these women into the Returning Youth Initiative, getting them enrolled, to get them on a safe path and get them reintegrated. Is that you, Mr. Barnaby?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You can join orderly. Just if you have a problem, we can just hear you and continue if that's okay with you.
Yeah, for now, I've got my text working on the video portion, but you can hear me, and I apologize for the technical difficulty, but still trying to get the video working.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming here, and let me introduce you because I met you at a very exciting event. I was invited into the VIP area, which was very exciting, and actually met and shook hands with Governor Ron DeSantis, who had just won a landslide, I would say, by over 20 points, a governorship. And you were the keynote speaker introducing him at that event. Now you are, if I could get me corrected, Webster Barnaby, Florida House District 29 representative, and you're Republican, and you won your election last night. Is that correct?
Yes, I won my election last night by 11,000 votes.
Wow. Okay.
18-point victory. Not bad for a black kid from Birmingham, England, who became a naturalized American back in 1998, who assimilated into the American culture and mainstream, and has a successful business. And praise be to God, I'm here in America trying to make a difference.
Wow. You were born in England?
Birmingham, England, Brummie by birth. My parents are Jamaicans. They left the Caribbean island of Jamaica in 1957. I was born in England in 1959, and I left England in 1987, met my American bride, and of course got married, and 11 years later became a naturalized citizen, got elected as a city commissioner, and now got elected as a state representative. The American dream is alive and well.
I'm going to show you a website while you're speaking, Webster. Here it is. You can't, I don't know if you can see it, but everybody else here, by the way, we're on YouTube. Join us on YouTube at CFC page, CFC PAGE, which is Christian Fellowship Council. Here's the picture of Webster Barnaby, principled, experience, fighting for us. There's your family. Is that your son? Wow, he looks yeah,
good. My son graduated the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, class of 2015. He played nose guard for the football team, Navy. He's now an intelligence officer, and he's based out of Norfolk, Virginia.
God bless him. God bless him. So you're fighting for public schools, for our economy, improving the quality of life in my county, Volusia County. Thank you, Webster. I appreciate that. And we're here today to kind of review what happened last night with the election. And Dr. Connor is going to join us and talk about it also. So I want to talk about Florida first, and then we're going to roll into the rest of the country. We'll look at it. I'll be able to look at it on Zoom and put it on the YouTube. But I'm going to leave it up to you to talk about. I think things went pretty well in for you and your party in Florida, didn't it, Webster?
It went extremely well. I'm so proud to be a member of the Grand Old Party. You know, there was a time when Blacks in America were very, very prominent in the Republican Party. Of course, the party of Abraham Lincoln, the party of Frederick Douglass, and the big switcheroo happened sometimes in the 60s. But I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back because if you want to grow, you want to prosper, you want to have self-governance and independence, and you know, the will to succeed for you and your family. There's no other party in America today but the Republican Party that gives individuals the chance and an opportunity to grow and to prosper and to be the best that they can be.
Well, and I hope I don't put you on the spot, but I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room, Webster, if you don't mind. And that elephant is, as far as being a member of this party, you are a great minority because traditionally the African Americans are Democrat. Isn't that correct?
Traditionally, but we're not monolithic as Black people. You know, you got to understand, we're not, Dr. Connor, come on now. We're not monolithic. So, you know, what did Forrest Gump say? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So when you meet a Webster Barnaby, you realize that life is like a box of chocolates. And, you know, I make the difference. And I'm proud, you know, not to be, as it were, alone, but as a Christian, you know, I come loaded. I come loaded in the power and the presence and the spirit of the old Apostle Paul. We're never alone when we're with Christ, because one with God is a majority. Abraham Lincoln said that, Gary. When you have Christ, you are a majority. And even though I may be the only Black Republican serving in the Florida House at the moment, we are about to send more Black Republicans in the Florida House and Senate than at any other time in the great state of Florida. I believe that in this upcoming session, there will be at least 3 Black representatives serving alongside myself in the House, and at least 1 brand new Black senator serving in the Florida Senate. So, you know, this entire election this last night was a history-making election, and the media is derelict in its duty. There is journalistic malpractice, Gary. I will proffer to you that there is journalistic malpractice when the media does not report on what I am being doing in the Florida House. It doesn't report on the great work that Dr. Khanna is doing. And I think it's about time that we expose the fact that we have journalists in our country today in America who are not doing their jobs, quite frankly. They ought to be fired. And so we've got to call out the media for not reporting to the public the facts. And that's why I'm grateful to be on this show. I'm grateful for you, Gary, for having a platform like this that can highlight to the American public that America is in fact diverse, that America has intelligent people like myself who are passionate and love America and care deeply about making this a more perfect union. So in order to do this, the first 3 words in our Constitution rings true. It's going to take we, the people. So we, the people, have not abrogated our responsibility. We, the people, are not afraid or ashamed to speak up, but we, the people, need a platform. And that's why I'm grateful for you and what you're doing with this radio program, reaching people in New York City, in Florida, and throughout the great United States of America.
Now, Webster, I think Dr. Khanna has a question for you. Go ahead, Dr. Khanna.
Hey, Mr. Webster, thank you very much for joining this, and thank you very much for helping Gary Scarano for this Returning Youth Initiative. And I echo what you just said about America being, or United States of America being a place where opportunities are there for everybody, whether you are Black, white, purple, or me. I'm kind of a mixture of green, purple, and black. It's good that you can't see, your video is not, you can't see me, but today I decided I want to be red, and I'm in red in color.
That's good. That's good.
And that means you can read between the lines, and I don't want to be, you are a political person, you can definitely say that you are who you are. And me being in a justice system, I want to make sure that I don't care whether we are colored people, but I echo with you that we are intelligent people. We are here to make America a different land, different place where opportunities are there for every single human being. Because when God sent us into this world, they send us with a purpose, not our purpose. God has his own purpose. So when we come here, like your purpose, means I admire you, what you just said and did from Jamaica to UK to United States. Well, the whole world is one land. We as a human being, we differentiated it, but we belong to one land of God, and freedom is there. Whoever has the intelligence, and God has given those intelligent to people like yourself, so that we can come and join hand and make this place a place where it could be understood by every human being, whether you are incarcerated, whether you are at risk, or whether you are post-incarcerated or normal people. Doesn't matter, no discrimination. And I really admire your your passion, your talent, and that gives me, because I came to this country when I was 17. Nobody taught me how to climb the ladder. And I don't want to make it a public news here, but when it was that year, means long time ago, before 9/11, the world was not, especially US, was not that colorful. So they look at colors in a different way, different angle. And I thrived that. I was the first young and colored commissioner level position in New York City under the administration of Mayor Giuliani. So it was not easy. I can understand what you.
And you were there during 9/11, weren't you, Dr.?
I was there during the 9/11, but I was there before that, and so what I'm trying to say is I admire, I congratulate you for your win in this election. I'm sure it was not easy, but you get with 11,000 more vote with your contestant. That is great, and I would love to work with you. Would love to bring a foundation where we can jointly tell our generations, young generations, I mean, those are young, that the opportunity is open. We are here to help them to grow. Do not sit back and say that, oh my God, somebody has to do a handout. We are not handouts here. We need to work hard to make it happen. I really, really thank you, Mr. Webster, for winning this race and making it happen. And again, like I said, if you can read between the lines, if the public can read between the lines, that today I chose to be red in color.
And Webster, I'd love to introduce you some people. We've had some interesting people on this show. We've had people from Newsmax, from Gateway Pundit, and other people. There's always an opportunity there. Perhaps we can introduce you to those people. So hey, God bless you. We can see you.
Oh,
Webster, here he is.
Took an act of Congress to get this going.
Oh yes, we finally got the vote, 51-49, and we got you on.
Mr. Webster, I could not realize that you are that handsome, and I could not.
Well, I didn't know what he was going to say. I got nervous there.
Did you use one of the Biden's people to fix your camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamala, the vice president, who's never been to the border, who's never seen an immigrant come across the border. We have no border problem. 2 million people came across the border, but we don't have a problem. I mean, give me a break. Are these people stupid? They think we're stupid, right? I wait 11 years with a green card, 11 years to become an American citizen. I was almost deported because my green card expired, and I had to go see my congressman, and he said, wait a minute, they're going to deport you, Webster, because your green card expired. I said, yeah, this letter says I was going to be deported. Now I'm a state representative.
That says a lot.
That says a lot.
And are you the only African American state representative
in the entire state of Florida?
Wow. Well, we got to help you out.
You know what? No. Congratulations for that. Okay, I'm taking a flight next week, coming to you to make sure that you are going to succeed. And I would like to see you climbing the ladder.
Thank you, Dr. Connor. God bless you, brother. And you're a handsome man.
Oh, thank you. Nobody ever told me that. Gary never tells me that.
Now, Webster, where is your office?
So my office is in Tallahassee and also in Volusia County, currently in Enterprise Road in Orange City currently.
Wow.
Orange City. Now, where's that near? I'm new here. I'm in Daytona.
That's near. It's not too far from Interstate 4.
Okay, so we'd love for you to come and visit us when Dr. Connor comes down and see our new office, if that's
And also
possible.
I will make the effort to go and visit him wherever he is. As long as
Yes,
he's not in United Kingdom right now, then I will go and visit him.
we'll make sure we do that.
Yeah,
So website, I just want to say that we are broadcasting to 10 million homes in New York. We Willie Saunders is the head of this Christian Fellowship Council. He is African American, and
Yep.
our audience is largely African American. And
good.
yeah, and this is a key demographic because we're trying to at least influence to a certain extent, and this is why we really love to get African Americans on to have their piece. So what
Yeah.
would you say to the New York people? And you have to understand there's a different mentality than Florida. Florida is very different. I'll tell you a really quick story. Dr. Khan and I were going someplace. We had to stop and get a juice drink in the morning. We stopped off someplace. He went inside. I was waiting in the car. And a guy pulled up with this mint, pristine Dodge Charger, orange. It was gorgeous. The guy got out of the car. He's got tattoos all the way up his arms, up his neck. And I just said to him, "Nice car." And he said to me, "Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it." And that would never happen in New York. So it's a different world. What would you say to New Yorkers, Webster?
Well, God bless New Yorkers. It's nice to have people who are confident and sometimes misunderstood, said to be brash. But that's fine. I've worked with people from New York for a long time. I love New Yorkers. New Yorkers are awesome. They got moxie, right? They got spit and vim and vigor, right? You got to know how to handle that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful thing. What would I say to New Yorkers? God bless you. Serve the Lord. Do whatever you can to represent Jesus Christ. Because without Jesus Christ, we're nothing. We're nothing without Christ. We're ambassadors for the Lord. It doesn't matter where our background, our ethnicity is from. Wherever in the world you are, and you find a person that loves Jesus, whether you are in England, whether you're in India, anybody that loves Jesus, you see the love of God just radiate. It comes out of them like a sunshine, like a beam. Mahatma Gandhi was once said that he said, "You're Jesus I love, but you're Christians I got a problem with." So I try to, in the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, I try to be a good Christian, because it's no good saying I'm a Christian if I don't show the love of God and let the light of the world shine through me, in my smile, in my attitude, in the way that I carry and conduct myself at all times. I've got to show the love of Christ.
Wow.
That's so good that you could quote from Mahatma Gandhi, because he's the man who emphasized that religion is a thing that if you don't have love of God, then religion means nothing. And Jesus Christ did that. Jesus Christ, we call that Christians, but sometimes I told Gary that Jesus Christ never created called Christian. Christianism came after Jesus Christ. But
Right.
Jesus Christ, what he did, he spread the love of God. Okay. So, and you know what? I don't know whether you know this, Mr. Webster, and the radio shows that Gary Scarano is the first one to compile all the testimonies of the Bible and put it in chronological order. And I will have Gary talk about it. It's called Gospel. And then now also he's also doing a TV show on the gospel. He got a producer, and means this is like all I said to him, Gary, when I read the book. I said, you know what, you did put A, B, C, and D. Okay, why it is called A, B, C, and D? Because it is after birth, and CD. We call as C and D, that is the Christ after death. So A, B, C, D. all these things which Gary does, like you said about the Christianity, that this is, Christianity is just a name, but love of God is the one which needs to be spread out.
Amen.
And I'm glad that you are linking that in today's political environment, because we are in a place today where people are kind of worried about who is winning, how is winning, but nobody really talks about the love of God.
Well, I talk about the love of God, Dr. Connor, because St. Paul said we are supposed to be living epistles, known and read of all men. Some people will never read the Bible, but they will read your life. And for me, as a lawmaker, as a legislator, I want to change the narrative, because Paul said in Romans 13 and verse 4 that leaders are God's ministers. He never called them politicians. The narrative of the world is that politicians is a Greek term which means hypocritica, which means actors. And a politician is a thespian. An actor is a thespian. I want to bring back the knowledge of what St. Paul was saying to the church in Rome when he said that we have to be living epistles. An epistle is a book. We have to be living, lively stones. So for me, as a student of the Word of God, and as a highly educated person, I believe that it's important for me to be a constant student. I read a lot of books. I built a library in my home. I think it's important that we inspire people and young people to read. When you read, you have a comprehensive knowledge of so many different subject matters that you're able to communicate with people at all levels, on all different stratums and levels, and you can best be effective as a communicator when you are a reader. Leaders are readers. Show me a guy that reads, and I'll show you a leader.
Absolutely. And the leaders should set examples, like you are just doing it right now by quoting the verses from the Bible, what Paul said, and just follow it. And we need to tell them that everything is answered in those scriptures. All you have to do is understand and follow the leader.
Yes. One of my favorite books is a Thomas Jefferson Education by historian Oliver DeMille. Oliver DeMille is a great historian, but he chronicles in his book, A Thomas Jefferson Education, how years ago, when at the start of this country, when the Puritans came to the United States, they read primarily from the Bible, from the scriptures, but there were leaders, founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson, like Benjamin Franklin. These guys were not only businessmen and farmers and great orators and legislators, but they were authors. They wrote about the times and the seasons that they lived in. And back then, we were able to form great institutions of learning, such as Princeton and Yale and Harvard. And many of these institutions of learning started out as Christian institutions of higher learning. And the students, they understood that to gain a Thomas Jefferson education was to have a proper exegesis and understanding of the Word of God and of all the very important subject matters of the day, and to study. And children studied so that they could explain why they were studying and what they were studying. To quote Stephen Covey, you seek first to understand, then to be understood. You have to have a proper comprehension of the subject matter. You don't just study just to pass the test. And that's part of the problem in America today. So many kids, they don't study to have a comprehension of the subject matter. They study just to pass the test, just to get the A grade. Well, I don't want to just get the A grade. I want to be the expert on the subject matter so that I can be a more effective lawmaker. And that's what we need as leaders today. We need more effective leaders. Everything rises and falls with leadership. And in America today, we have a void of leadership, real leadership. And leadership is oftentimes fellowship. You got to know how to follow. Okay, to be a good leader, you got to know how to be, as it were, a good student, right?
That's right. Now,
So I want to
just
thank
wanna-
you guys for allowing me to be on the show today. I want to thank you, Dr. Connor, for, I know that you and I will get together very soon one day. And Dr. Gary, I hope that we have some more fellowship together here in beautiful
Well, I'll
Volusia
bring you
County.
I'll bring you a copy of my book when you're there. I just want to let everybody know, if you want to learn more about Webster Barnaby, just please go to his website. It's votebarnaby.com. Vote Barnaby, BARNABY.com. When Dr. Connor comes next week, I'll contact you. We'll get together.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. So now, Dr. Connor,
just to let you know, breaking news for you and your viewers. I am working on publishing my first book, which will be published to the entire world, so people can find out about my life story, how I came from England to the United States and became a state lawmaker.
what's the name of the book, Webster?
It's still in the baking stages. We're still baking it.
When do you think you're going to be releasing, roughly?
We're hopeful next year.
Okay, great. Well, when we meet, I'll give you a copy of my book so you can
Thank
be
you.
blessed. And
Hopefully mine will be ready.
yes, yes. Now, do we want to talk about the election just briefly?
Yeah, briefly, because I have another appointment.
Okay, so let's. I just want to show everybody what we're at here.
Hey, Gary, before you before you start the election thing, maybe one thing I would like to share with the audience today, because Mr. Webster kept on bringing the leadership and wanted to link with the verses, that whatever he's speaking is not speaking because he thought of speaking it, but there are different verses that talks that especially John 15:12-13, which talks about, my command is this, love each other as I loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So why this verse relates to the leadership? Because leader should love the people. Leaders should love each and everyone, because a leader is not only, like you said, Mr. Webster, leader is also to follow. Follow who? Follow God. Follow who? Follow the leader of the leader. That's we are talking about Jesus here. Jesus' love for people in extravagant. Okay, so love each other as I loved you. God says that. Why does he says that? Because we want to make sure that love is attached with the leadership. And this is the problem today that happens with the leaders. And I'm so glad that you, as a representative of the state, that means you are representing the people and common, and you are the leader for them. But very first thing which you just said was that you are also a follower. And that's what I brag about. I am a servant of the follower, because I cannot be a leader if I'm not a good follower.
Amen. Amen, brother.
So thank you for highlighting that to the audience, and audience needs to really hear this. Is today, whatever the political situation is going on, if we do not put love in this leadership,
Amen.
then we will not be successful. And since you brought up, we also, I think it was May, I launched my first book called Returning Youth Initiative, You Belong. And when I come, and I'll give you a copy, it is available in Amazon.com. And this is something that we want to talk about, our leadership to the young people, because today, young people, we were young one day when you and me, we came to this country, we were young.
Yes, we were.
Okay, so this book talks about what happens. It's mainly about me and my journey and how I want to give out to the people, but with love. That means everybody deserves love, and care.
Amen. Beautiful, Dr. Khanna. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Now that you've won your election, can you at least share what's in store for the future in Florida? What kind of legislation, what kind of rules, what kind of things are you going to be working on? You're in my county, so it's going to affect me. What can you share, Webster?
One of the things I'm going to work on is I was the sponsor in Florida for the fetal heartbeat bill.
Oh, wow.
As the chief sponsor last year, my bill said that if a heartbeat is detected in a woman, then it's a child, it's a human life. You should not be allowed to abort and kill that child. Jesus said, the Lord said in Jeremiah 5:1, before I knew you in your mother's womb, I formed you. So there tells me right there that we were formed in our mother's womb even before the heartbeat was detected. And that's a human life that should never be aborted. I believe that in the great state of Florida, with a supermajority of Republicans in the House and the Senate, and with Governor Ron DeSantis,
did you get the supermajority? Did that
yes,
happen?
we now have a supermajority. We have no excuses not to pass pro-life legislation in the great state of Florida that will defend the life of the unborn child. And nothing's more important than life. We can try to save all the money in the world, and I love to be fiscally responsible. We can love to try to save the environment, and I love the environment. It's very important that we have clean water, clean air. We've got to have good education for our children in schools. We've got to have an education that is not indoctrination, no CRT, no critical race theory, no woke craziness, no teaching about Adam and Steve. We're talking Adam and Eve. We're talking creation. We're talking a biblical foundation that understands where we are as a human race, where we are as a nation, respecting our history, all these important things, and making sure that Disney and all the woke corporations stay out of the state of Florida. And of course, we want to make sure that the mass media corporations like Facebook and Fakebook and Twitter does not interfere with your privacy. We believe that we should have utmost privacy as Americans. We don't want to be like China with what they're trying to pull, of course, by grading you based on your social grades. So we're going to stop the social engineering that's been going on all around the world. And yes, because, quite frankly, as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, it's so important for me to warn the church to wake up to the fact that the Antichrist is at work and the spirit of Antichrist is here. And we should not be promoting the spirit of Antichrist. We should be doing everything we can to reject the spirit of Antichrist. We know that Beelzebub is the father of lies, the devil himself, and we've seen all the lies that's come out of 1600 Pennsylvania, out of the mouth of one Joseph Rabino Biden, the so-called president of the United States. Nobody lies more than that man, and his lying press secretary, who can't tell the truth if she saw the truth, and all the people that he's put into key positions, such as Jennifer Granholm, who's in charge of our energy. I mean, this woman is an absolute disaster. Secretary Mayorkas, he's a disaster for the border. We've got so many of these people that are a colossal failure. Secretary Buttigieg, they're all failures, and we've got to start calling them out. And the Republican Party, whether it is in Washington or in Tallahassee, needs leaders who are bold and fearless. And I will be bold and I will be fearless, like Daniel. My mother always sang me a little song when she was growing up. She said, dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose, dare to make it known. Daniel was not afraid to pray. He opened his windows 3 times a day and he prayed. They said, you're not supposed to pray. Well, they threw him in the lion's den. And guess what? God shut the mouth of the lion. Well, some of us are going to have to be thrown into the lion's den because, to be frank with you, we've got too many people that are a bunch of wussies. They're scared and frightened to be canceled and censored. Well, I'm saying bring it on, Brother Gary, because I'm not afraid. And who is the uncircumcised Philistine that he could dare to stand against the armies of my God and my Lord? I'm ready to fight the battle like Daniel, like David fought the battle. And I am here with my size 13, with my King James Bible and my 40 caliber Glock. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. Let's go, baby.
Well, I want to share something really quick with you about the abortion issue. Probably, I don't know if you realize this, but it's the only place in the Bible where someone does something by accident and it's punishable by death. So if you are struggling and you cause a woman to have lose her baby by accident, the Bible says life for life. So in other words, God has a very high opinion of life. That's an interesting thing I like to point out to people talking about abortion.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you the numbers. 85 Republicans last night were elected to the Florida House. 85.
Out of how many? How many is the total number?
120.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. That's great.
Great. We have a super majority.
Wow. So you know what? He promised that's a 71%. He promised at the event that he would have what's it called? Open carry?
Yep.
Now explain that, because I'm from New York. We weren't allowed to think about guns.
So in states like Texas, you're allowed to carry your firearm on you openly on your waist with your holster, obviously holstered, but you're able to do that, and people don't go around shooting people.
No,
people are safe. So in Florida, we'd be able to do the same thing, and people would be safe.
That's great. I mean, because you have to get the proper training to do that, right?
Well, one would need the proper training, absolutely.
Good.
There's no biggie. Listen, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be on the show today. I absolutely have to go, but thank you. I'll come back. I promise you, I'll come back. I want to see you guys again. I love you all. Let me be the first to say Happy Thanksgiving. Let us give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, because his mercies endure forever.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Webster. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. Let's give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, because his mercies endure forever.
Hey,
amen.
Webster, let me just review. We're going to meet when Dr. Connor comes down, we're going to contact you. We'll meet with you wherever you can meet. I'm going to give you a copy of the book, and I'm going to be introducing you to some of the contacts that I have, because I think you're a very interesting person that other people need to know about. So we only have 2.5 minutes left anyway to the show. So I guess if you got to go, you got to go. We understand that, but
I'm sorry, my staff is calling me. I've got to run. I love you guys. We'll be in touch. Again, congratulations for your winning, and that means a lot to the community. And I would like to also say the same thing to the listener, those who are in the radio, that we are fortunate to have colored people in the state representative in the country who is driving and giving all the force, all the opportunities to the young people, because we are here for young people, for you as your representative. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'm proud to be a role model. God bless you, folks.
God bless you.
So, Dr. Connor, with just 1.5 minutes left, let's talk about the Returning Youth Initiative and your plans. What's going on? Again, Returning Youth Initiative, returningyouth.com, helps young people 18 to 30 when they come out of incarceration, but we also working with kids that are at risk. So we just opened an office in Florida. You can contact us there. You just go to the website, returningyouth.com. We should probably get my contacts information down there now that we have an office. If you know someone that's at risk, get in touch with us so we can get them into the program. If you know someone that's coming out of incarceration, get in contact with us, because we'd like to sign them up for our program and get them a job. You know that Florida has the second lowest unemployment rate in the whole country, 2.75%. So we can get you a job instead of staying being on the street. So Dr. Khanna, why don't you review some of the things that you're doing now and you plan to do with the initiative? You got about 45 seconds. Go.
Well, the one thing which I would like to tell everybody that we are planning to come to all the 3,142 counties, that means all states in United States, giving an opportunity to all the young adults, whether male or female, any gender, they are given all the opportunities to restore their lives and come back to the community and prove themselves that they have their back with us. We are going to cover everybody. We just launched the women's care, young women's care and rights. So that, we are doing fabulous in different states. Our Montana is our flagship. And then after that, we are in Florida, we are in California, we are in Gary, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York. So we are in New York and Connecticut. So please come and visit our website. And thank you, Gary, for inviting me today. And thank you very much that today is a nice day where the Lord has come to tell everybody that, you know what, regardless of the political battle, we are there.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna. Don't leave yet.